According to the official press briefings, the United States has already won. The administration repeatedly declares absolute victory over Iran, projecting an image of unmatched global supremacy. But the financial reality tells a different story. To date, the U.S. military has burned through over $3 billion taxpayer dollars in operations and hardware losses. The airspace over the Middle East is now a graveyard for assets once considered untouchable. Iranian forces have successfully downed advanced F-35 stealth fighters and a fleet of $30 million MQ-9 Reaper surveillance drones. Even the largest warship on Earth is vulnerable. Internal damage and hundreds of casualties forced the USS Gerald R. Ford away from the front lines, undermining the narrative of impenetrable naval dominance. On the ground, the logistics network is strained. The U.S. has fired over 2,400 of these Patriot interceptors. Replacing this depleted stockpile is expected to take the defense industrial base 4 to 5 years. The U.S. remains entangled in a costly, bloody conflict. Yet the primary beneficiary of this war is thousands of miles away, completely removed from the battlefield. Beijing is treating the U.S.-Iran war as a live-fire laboratory. While American forces exhaust their resources in combat, China's leadership is analyzing every move. This is the observer's advantage. By watching a rival superpower deploy its top-tier tactics and weapons in a real-world conflict, a nation harvests strategic military intelligence without risking a single soldier. This regional conflict provides a live-streamed case study for Beijing to analyze American military doctrine in real time. Iran's military success relies on more than domestic industry. Their ballistic missiles use sodium perchlorate, a critical rocket fuel component, covertly supplied by China alongside advanced radar systems. This diagram shows the Beidou satellite network. It is China's proprietary alternative to GPS, and it currently feeds precise targeting coordinates to Iranian forces, giving their drone strikes devastating accuracy. By locking on to American radar signatures and flight paths, this satellite data allows Iranian weapons to bypass traditional defenses and track moving U.S. aircraft in the field. This tech sharing led to the destruction of an E-3 Sentry AWACS plane. These aircraft serve as flying command centers with 400-kilometer tracking ranges. Losing one effectively blinds American air coordination in the region. By equipping Iranian forces, China has created a proxy testing ground. They are evaluating how their anti-ship and anti-air systems perform against American targets. Chinese spy satellites are currently tracking U.S. logistics, logging troop movements, and measuring response times with surgical precision. They are calculating the exact failure rates of U.S. equipment and noting that the U.S. must rely on allies to replenish basic assets like Patriot missiles. This massive repository of intelligence is being organized and categorized for a specific theater, the South China Sea. With the American operational playbook exposed, China's naval strategy regarding Taiwan becomes significantly more lethal. They now have empirical data on how the U.S. military deploys and bleeds in modern war. Every tactical error the U.S. makes in Iran today becomes a permanent, documented lesson in China's strategy for tomorrow. This chart demonstrates the economic shift. Roughly 80% of Iran's oil exports flow to China at deep discounts, settled in Chinese yuan to bypass the U.S. petrodollar. While China secures its energy needs, the U.S. is facing diplomatic isolation. Historic allies like Spain, Italy, and France have denied the U.S. military access to their airspace and bases during this conflict. Beijing is moving into this diplomatic vacuum. To European leaders, China is projecting an image of a stable, predictable power in contrast to the chaos in Washington. Major allies like the UK, France, and Germany are now bypassing Washington to negotiate trade and stability directly with Beijing. The U.S. has isolated itself through regional entanglement, allowing China to inherit global diplomatic prestige and economic influence. The United States went to war to enforce a unipolar world. Instead, its actions have accelerated the rise of a multipolar one. The American military is overextended, its stockpiles are dwindling, and the psychological edge of its top-tier weaponry has been blunted. By entering the war in Iran, America handed its strategic playbook to its greatest rival. China has achieved a historic victory, breaking the enemy's resistance without ever fighting a battle.